Let's go JavaScripting! Hi everybody and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're talking about the ternary operator. What in the world is a ternary operator? Well, it's just another way to write an if statement within JavaScript. Many people believe, as I do, that using ternary operators makes your code easier to read and easier to maintain. But there are a few gotchas you need to be aware of. You want to see how they work? Let's get started. Now, the easiest way to show you how ternary operators work is to show you an if statement that does the exact same thing, and then we'll replace the if statement with the ternary and show you the difference. So I've got a simple little object here called myCat with a name, type, and classification. Then I'm setting a variable called isCat. Then I'm testing if myCat.type is equal to cat, then I'm setting isCat equal to true. Otherwise, in the else statement, I'm setting it to false. Further on down the line, I have an output statement here saying, do I have a cat? And if isCat is set, which again it's set up here, I'm going to append yes to do I have a cat. Otherwise, I'm going to append no to do I have a cat. And then we'll finally output it. You want to see how that works? Let's type in node ternary. And do I have a cat? Yes, of course I had a cat because the object was called myCat. So that's the basic if statement. You know about if statements. So let's replace it with a ternary. So here's the code, and I left the old code here within some comments so we can compare the two. But a ternary operator is basically split into three sections. The first section is a condition, and this is some sort of condition that will evaluate to a truthy or a falsy condition. Then you have a question mark, and then the value that is after the question mark is the truthy value that is assigned to the variable. Then a colon, and then the final part is the falsy value that is assigned to the variable. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm testing, first of all, is myCat.type not equal to cat? If it is not equal to it, then I assign false to myCat. Otherwise, I assign true to myCat. And that's basically all there is to it. So the ternary operator, this one little line here has completely replaced all of this from line 11 to line 17. So within one simple little if statement here, I have made a test. I assigned it if it's a truthy value, and I assigned it if it is a falsy value. And then, of course, we did the output and the console.log output. So you want to see how that works? Of course you do. Let's go over to our node. Let's clear off the screen. Let's go to node ternary. We got the exact same thing. So that's one of the beauties about using a ternary is that it does offer you a more concise method of doing if statements. Like, for instance, down here too. You can use things like template literals to be able to append, but you can also use ternaries inside template literals. So let me replace this piece of code here from 20 to 25 with something else. Okay, and now I have the other if statement replaced by using a ternary. And this time I have put the ternary within a template literal. And this does exactly the same thing. Again, I have do I have a cat, since it's template literal. It's going to now evaluate the expression that is between the curly Q brackets, as long as that curly Q bracket starts with a $sign. So this is how you insert variables into a template literal. And I did a boring JavaScript on template literal, so go review that if you want to have some more information. But I've got another ternary inside here, and this is basically doing is cat. If it is cat, then append a yes. If it is not cat, append a no. Now how do I know that? Because again, the first part is the condition. This is the test. And this test will either return a truthy or a falsy. The question mark then says the value that follows the question mark is the value that to get assigned if it's truthy. In this case, I'm not assigning, I'm actually appending the word yes there. Then a colon, and then anything that's after the colon is the value that is assigned if the condition at the very beginning is falsy. And in this case, again, I'm not assigning something, I am just simply putting no there. So this technically should do the same thing, right? Right? Well, of course it does. Let's clear off the screen. Do I have a cat? Yes. Worked exactly the same way. So when all is said and done, I went from this to this. Much simpler to read, much simpler to understand. Very, very easy to use. So again, ternary operators are ternary. I keep pronouncing it incorrectly. It's ternary. Get it right. It's ternary operators are wonderful ways of concatenating and fixing up large if statements to make it look easier on the eyes, make it easier to maintain. But you could get in trouble with them if you're not careful. I'll show you that next. So how can you get in trouble with ternaries? Well, you really can't. Where you get in trouble is in the maintenance mode. For example, the idea here is that you have a ternary has a condition, then a truthy value, and then a falsy value, but you can nest all of those together. And when you start nesting ternaries together, you get one giant mess. Let's take a look at the code that's on the screen right now. I've got an object called my cat, an object called my dog, an object called my horse, and here I'm going to say if three animals equals, if my cat is equal to cat, then if my dog is equal to type dog, then if my horse is equal to type horse, question mark 3, colon 2, colon my horse dot type is equal to horse, question mark 2, colon 1, colon 0. Really? What happens when we run it? Let's find out. No bad. I don't know what this number is, 3. And the reason I don't know what this number is because just taking a look at this thing, what in the world are we doing here? Obviously we're assigning numbers because we got numbers here, but this is just one awful mess. I mean, take a look at the original code here. You know, my cat is equal cat, true, false. Real simple, real easy to understand. This, you got to be kidding me. This is completely difficult to understand. So let's split it up a little bit here. So we got my cat type question mark. Let's put the question mark there. My dog question mark. My horse question mark colon colon question mark colon colon. So that's how my IDE, which is WebStorm, figured out how to indent it to make it look a little bit better. Does that look any better to you? Of course not. You still really can't figure out what the heck is going on. Now, obviously, if you really look into it, you can figure it out. But the fact of the matter is, if you write something this bad, and I have seen worse than this, the next person that comes in behind you is just going to get real confused. They may change one thing in here and just start messing up the program completely. So this is one of those things. It's called a code smell. You have things like this, you just want to sit there and go, just rip it all out and refigure out what the heck you have to do. The idea here, if you're going to use ternaries, keep them simple. Keep them one level like I've done here or like I've done here. This is extremely easy to figure out, extremely easy to understand. This is not. Does it work? Yeah, of course it works. But it's very difficult to understand. So, if you're going to use ternaries, and I love ternaries, I strongly suggest using them. So, in recap, ternaries are fantastic, but use them only at one level. And that's all there is for ternary operators. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please make sure you click on the like button below and subscribe to this channel for more exciting boring JavaScript videos. Plus, go to www.boringjavascript.com to see all of our boring JavaScript videos or www.thevirtualvoid.com for everything that we do. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.